This has been, as you've said, one hell of a roller coaster, and there may be a number of factors that have contributed to it. But I just wonder how you have felt personally as you have watched the incredibly dramatic way, not only that your party vote has fallen away, but also your personal vote.
Well, obviously it's been very concerning to us, but ultimately, you know, I worked for Don Dunstan, as you know, and as I said before, his third-term victory was by a handful of votes in one seat. John Bannon, who I also worked for, was an MP and a minister for, won his third term by a handful of votes in one seat. And what we're doing is continuing a tradition here, something that, by the way, I've been predicting now publicly for a long, long time. And of course we've also had a fairly extraordinary election campaign and the build-up to, which has made it very, very difficult to get our message through, particularly in some media, but not in all. So I think that what we've been trying to do is to get through the message of a state. You know, when I got elected 8 years ago, there wasn't any commentator in the country that wasn't describing South Australia as rust bucket or rust belt or basket case. No one's saying that now. We've absolutely worked in a partnership with the community to turn this state round, and it's been a massive, massive privilege for me to serve the people of this state. And if we do get a third term, then obviously we want to not only continue to keep the growth going, keep the jobs and projects going, but also we want to go out there and reconnect with people.
What observations have you got to make about the quite dramatic fall away in Labor's support within your traditional safe seats, that very safe Labor base? What signal is that sending to you?
I think what it says is that we need to reconnect and rebuild, and that's exactly what happened after Don Dunstan's third election, where he almost lost and then went out and reconnected with people. And you know, we have community cabinet meetings where we open it up, the cabinet, to the public. We do street corner meetings, but we've got to do more of it. We've got to take it back to the streets and the shopping centres and the factories, and we've got to reconnect with people. And but you know, also it is, people have been saying to us, to South Australian governments for years, that they wanted boldness, not wimping out on our future. And I think that what we've done has been bold, and we've had to do lots of things along the way that were unpopular. Rather than, you know, doing the populist thing, we've done sometimes things that we've had to do that have taken on our own base, like reforming work cover and a range of areas like that. We've done so because we've tried to act in the best interests of the state, and we're going to continue to do that if we get re-elected. But we're not claiming victory tonight. We're not claiming victory. There's still a whole lot more counting to do, and we've got to talk to people, listen to people, and see how things play out in the next few days. But we're certainly not claiming victory, but I hope we'll be able to say that if we do get re-elected for a third term, given that all of the noise that's gone on and all of the abuse and all of the smearing that's gone on, that this would be a very sweet victory to win the third term here in South Australia.
You have been the leader of your party now for 16 years, which is an extraordinarily long time in terms of modern politics and people's capacity to sustain their support for modern political leaders. I understand that during the campaign you would have had to say, or you would have felt you had to say, that you were going to serve for the full 4 years of the next term. But surely, given what has happened in this election, whether you form a government again in your own right, or whether you are able to govern as a minority government with support from one or more independents, surely you have to reconsider whether it's in your own interests and the interests of your party to serve another full 4 years.
More than my interests and more than the interests of my party, the first thing that will come first is the interest of this state. And I've said before I came to this election campaign that I intended, if re-elected, to serve a full 4-year term. And obviously that's something that I want to do. I mean, I'm about the same age as John Howard was when he was first elected as Prime Minister. So the thing is that it's about re-engaging, re-energising, and I think we've got a good story to tell, and maybe we need to tell it better, and maybe we need to go out and connect, connect on a much more one-to-one basis with with the people of this state.
Ever had a bigger scare in politics?
Sorry?
Have you ever had a bigger scare in politics?
Kerry, I've been around a long time. I went through the state bank election in 1993, which was, a tsunami of. We were elected almost unanimously to opposition. I led an opposition at one stage of 10 people. So
I guess you saw that one coming, though.
We saw that one coming, but also I saw this one coming, Kerry, because I said so many times that we would absolutely be facing a line ball election, just like Don Dunstan and John Bannon did, and I think that was proven right. I mean, so obviously there's been a whole range of factors come into this, which saw us getting blocked in terms of getting our message through, and sometimes it felt like we weren't just running against the Liberal Party, we're running against others and other interests as well. But the key thing is that if we do get re-elected for a third term, then we promise to reconnect with the people. But it looks like I have to go.
Yeah,
So thank you very much.
I'll let you reconnect with your own supporters. Mike Rann, thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, Kerry.